you have to introduce some element of running a business. You are running a business. Yabo. If someone has to do work for you, how much do they charge? They are charging an X amount of money. Pay them. Pay them. And move on with life. Yabo.
So your tagline,
Yeah.
perception is everything, resonates well in both
Sure.
sales and in marketing.
Sure.
How do you think perception plays a role in closing deals, both online and offline?
I actually have a story. You see this thing here? I bought it specifically.
That MacBook.
Yes.
Okay.
This is an investment for my business. I spent, it was about 15,000. I spent that 15,000. And I mostly work with this one. I use this one to shoot my videos and edit. But I'm a client that was log. If you go to a client with this in a meeting, hey, witness, hey, what we're doing here, and then you start taking out your phone to do business. This champ is playing us. So I bought this one. So now when I'm in meetings, I open a laptop. It becomes a different conversation. Value can sometimes be created by you associating yourself with things which are valuable. Even if you, I don't believe actually, Luti, there are some people who are dumb, but even if you are the dumbest person on earth, take yourself and put yourself in a room filled with valuable people. People will now perceive you as a valuable person. So if you are closing deals physically, the appearance is everything. Perception is everything. Because people are visual creatures. Even you yourself, you are a visual person. Even I am a visual person. We scan izinto. You scan into first. That's why there's a saying, Eti, first impressions. People judge you on your first impressions. First impressions are everything. People are gonna judge you on your first impression. So it's very important to when you are going to sell to someone, presentation is everything. Present yourself how you want to be perceived. Present yourself how you want to be paid also.
So sorry about that.
Sorry, yeah.
So can you share an example of how the way a brand or an individual then present themselves can change, or shift their sales results? You talked about presenting yourself in a certain way right
Sure.
now. Let's say I was presenting myself one way, or the brand was presenting itself one way,
yeah.
and then now that changes. How does that dramatically shift the results when it comes to sales?
When it comes to sales. I'm gonna give Ama examples. So I had a client once. I'm not gonna mention which client. So when I do social media accounts for companies, some companies they want to meet physically. Some companies they're just gonna finish the deal online. The first deal that I did, we closed it offline, so I had to meet them physically. And I came in dressed not in a very nice man. I was wearing sneakers and just cargo pants. I looked like your typical high school kid, just like any typical high school kid. We went there, we negotiated, and I said, before I start the work, I need 30% of the deal itself. They're like, clean, we're gonna do 30%. At a later stage, when I'm having a conversation with the client, I'm like, why did you do 30%? Why did you pay that money? Because wayesanda kuskenywa omunye wama-uniform kanjalo kanjalo. I'm scam, I think like 70,000. So I'm like, why did you do 30%? Uthi hayi mina ngiyibonela intwana bethe edinga imali elambile. Ngathi hawu. Because it's the presentation that I gave. You see? So he was not paying me based on the value that I'm gonna bring to the business. He was just paying another person obuke ngathi homeless. Scene 2, I have a client who wants to work with me. This client, I was able to close the deal online. The client has never met me. The client has only seen my work. But since I presented, my structures are online, which are professional. First of all, email is very important. You buy domain, you can't be using which email. You can't be using or like these cheap online or Yahoo or what. Because those are associated with scammers. I-client ilang email alithi, we want to work with you. This is what we want. We want this number of videos. What's the price? The price is 15,000. Clean. I want 50% of the money before I start the work. Clean. Send us your banking details. Give us an invoice. And they send the money. So how does someone just trust someone nje kanjalo? It's because khona structures esengiwabekile. The email is very professional. My whole structure is very professional. Like my TikTok, indlela engiyibeke ngayo, it's very professional. The client that I've worked with is a very trusted client. Yabo? So perception is everything.
So, from a sales perspective,
Sure.
right? How do you then build sales funnels through social media? I mean, especially for those that are already interacting with the brand, interacting with the business. How do you build funnels that can help with conversion?
With conversions. I still struggle with those actually myself. I still struggle with those because I'm a salesman. I ngangiwavala on WhatsApp. I closed my sales, my perfume. A lot of them I closed them on WhatsApp, and I was making a significant amount of money, which is something engifuna ukuyishift. And I'm like, you build a website that's gonna obviously try and convert abantu to actually buying customers. I'm in a very lucky position to work with a company which has those structures in place. Yeah, but Mina, my job is to bring the traffic. Bona, they have all the sales funnel. They have everything. They have multiple stores across the province, and it's a very big brand. Yeah, so I'm a sales funnel for them. It's already there. Yeah, but for someone who's an individual, it's very difficult. It's very difficult, and unless you're obviously going to create like a website, or create a website, and that can be your sales funnel, and then you can use the social media as a marketing tool to
Nice.
drive those sales.
So then, what are the key elements that businesses need to include in their marketing strategy, especially social media marketing strategy, in order for them to drive those sales?
Yeah.
Obviously, to then create those funnels, drive